Welcome back, everyone. Today is the 2nd of January. So, Happy New Year. And I wanted to start this year off with this series where I'm yapping about things I'm interested in. Because why not? And what I have in mind for today is talking about my fear of public speaking and general lack of confidence when I was younger and how I got over it. So until I was about 23 years old, I would be very afraid of just going up on stage and speaking to a group of people, or even if it's a setting where there's a bunch of people around and I have to speak to them all, like in a small setting, I would still shit my pants. And it took me a while to get over that fear. So I just want to share with you how I did manage to get over it. So when I was younger, I started playing the guitar, and I would very often go up on stage and play and sing. And even though in the first 5 to 10 seconds I would be really afraid, like, oh my god, there is so many eyes on me, and what if I make a mistake? They're all judging me right now. Although I did have these thoughts all the time, but after a few seconds of doing it, I would just get busy in the process itself, and all of those thoughts about people watching me would go away. And even though that was the case, when it came to speaking or just interacting with people, I would always keep having these anxious thoughts. And I somehow convinced myself that going on stage and playing the guitar versus going on stage and speaking are two completely different things. And if you're good at one, doesn't mean you're going to be good at the other. So I convinced myself that I will never be able to speak on stage. And I mean, now obviously it doesn't make any sense, but back then it made total sense to me. So I would avoid situations where I had to, speak to people at all costs. Like even the smallest things. If I had to participate in the school assembly, I would find ways to somehow not do it. And after avoiding all of those opportunities for so many years, it's inevitable that something like that comes up. I'll share a story with you guys where I had to go up on stage, participate in a debate, and I fully embarrassed myself, and that was the final straw in me going, this has gone on for too long. I have to somehow get over this fear. So what had happened was, I was 22 years old. I was in London Business School, and I had gone on a field trip to Stockholm. And the purpose of the trip was we would visit businesses and labs to understand how businesses are making themselves more sustainable, and just understand general research around climate change. And at the end of that trip, there would be a debate where we would be in teams. We'd be given a topic, and each person in that team has to make an argument for or against whatever point we're given. Now, I don't remember exactly what our debate topic was or what argument I had to make, but I had to just present something on stage. Like, I had an argument and I had a few points to support that argument. And when I found out, I was nervous, but I didn't expect it to be like a very big debate. Like, I expected it to be more like a classroom discussion where, we're just sitting in our chairs and making our points. So I didn't pay much attention to it. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll figure it out. I just read through the points briefly, and I was like, yeah, तब की तब देखेंगे, मतलब जब मौका आएगा तब मैं अपने points पढ़ के कुछ ना कुछ बोल दूंगा. So I didn't prepare at all. Now, cut to the day of the debate. I walk in, the whole class is sitting, and there's a podium up front. The professor is right next to it, and he's sort of emceeing, right? He's announcing the topic of the debate and announcing who's gonna come in, present their points, vagera vagera. So turned out it'd be like a whole scene where 40 kids are sitting, and these are not exactly kids also, by the way. These are MIM and MBA students, so the age of the whole group would be between 22 to maybe 45, 50 even. And they'd just be sitting there, and it would be a full scene where you go up on the podium, present your points, and speak to all of those people. So when I saw that, I started shitting my pants. I was like, fucking hell, how am I going to do this? My turn comes, I go up on stage, and even though I have sort of prepared what to speak, I start. Oh, and there's also a debate partner. So the person next on the other podium, there were two podiums. On the other podium, he would be trying to argue against my points, right? I go up on stage, try to start reading my points. I read exactly what's written, and these are not sentences, these are just points, right? I read the first point and I just go blank, I freeze, and I just go like this, and it was so embarrassing. The professor had to step in and stop that from going on any longer, like end the pain that I am experiencing and the rest of the class is experiencing from the second hand embarrassment. So that happened, and I felt completely like incapable, small, inept, and just had like so many thoughts rushing in my mind, and it was so embarrassing because everybody saw that and we are on a trip, right? So I can't just escape. I have to see these people, talk to these people until we get back to London, like on the flight, in the hotel. So I couldn't go anywhere, and it was one of the most embarrassing experiences of my entire life. So after that debate session ended, we were exiting the lecture hall, and the my debate partner, like the person against me, who obviously won by a long shot, because his opponent just came up there and just went. Like, those were my points. So he had obviously won. So he asked me later on, bro, what were your points exactly? And sort of mockingly, and it just broke me. I was completely like feeling the worst I had ever been in a very long time. Anyway, cut to almost like 3-4 months later, when I finally like processed all of what had happened, and I was like, fuck this, I have to somehow get over my fear of public speaking. This can't keep going on for the rest of my life. I have to do something about it. So I signed up for a stand-up comedy class, and that was for many reasons. Primarily because I wanted to get over my fear of public speaking, but also because I wanted to try stand-up comedy for the longest time. Like, I think I'm sometimes funny, so I wanted to see if other people think that as well. Like with your friends, you never really know. If you make a joke, some of them will laugh, some of them won't, but you can't really tell whether what you're saying is actually funny or not. Anyway, I'm digressing. My point is, I signed up for that stand-up comedy class, and the structure of that class was every week you would have one class for 2 hours. For the first hour, the instructor would just tell you a few things about stand-up comedy, like what it is, how do you stand up on stage, you hold the mic like this, what's the structure of a joke, punchline, setup, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. And for the second hour, you would do just a 2-minute set in front of like 6-7 people, and they were very encouraging ki if you do a terrible set also, they'll just be very supportive, like they won't make you feel like shit. And that was the key, I feel like, because I would go up on stage, and not exactly stage, like I would go up in that room in front of 5-6 people, and I would just talk for a minute or two, and it didn't feel that bad because I saw other people fuck up before me. So it was a very supportive environment. And for the first 2 or 3 times, I did get scared of it, but by the third week, I started feeling normal about it. Like, I got a feeling of it's okay if you fuck up, and it's not the end of the world. So all of those anxious thoughts, about so many eyes on me, what if I mess up, and just that panicky feeling, that slowly started to go away. And that was the key, because once I got used to the idea of me speaking and people not judging me, I could slowly get over that fear. Now, speaking to 5-6 people is one thing. At the end of that course, we would do a full set in like a stand-up comedy pub. Now, it would have like 70 people. There would be a stage, there would be a mic. All of the classes were not doing with a mic, by the way. We were just like getting up there and talking. We didn't have a mic with us. So with a mic, the thing also is, when you speak, you also hear your own voice. So that makes a lot of people more self-conscious. So that's one worry I had before the final show. And the other thing was, there'd be like 70 people. All of my friends would be there, like friends I would invite for that show. And if I fuck up there, then again, it's going to be one of the most embarrassing incidents of my entire life. So how I kind of tried to not mess up was, I memorized that set by heart. I would, every chance I would get throughout the day, like while showering, while commuting to work, while just sitting down by myself at the gym, I would just recite that whole 5-minute set in my head. So on the day of the show, although I had sort of prepared myself by practicing in front of a few people and memorizing my set by heart, I still was very nervous. I had a few drinks just to like calm my nerves as well. And when I finally got up on stage, to my surprise, I did a really good set. And it was a shocking experience for me. That is a feeling I had never had before in my life. Even while I was doing it, I had such a wonderful time. I threw in a few bits of crowd work as well. Like some guy was laughing hysterically, like his laugh was very peculiar, and he was like wee 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 wee, something like that. So I made a small joke about that as well, and I had a wonderful time. Like it was like I'm not myself anymore on stage. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. Like it's a feeling I had never experienced before while doing it, and after I did it, I was just so happy and satisfied with myself. I was jumping up and down while I was going home. It was like I was born anew. Like I this is how I imagine a Tarnished would feel when they give a larval tear to Renala and like change their stats. Sorry for the niche reference, but I felt like I was born again, and it gave me a feeling of there's nothing in this world that is impossible. There's nothing I can't do. If I try hard enough, I can overcome all of my fears. If you take away anything from this episode, is I would want it to be this. Like if you have anything that scares you or that like holds you back from doing something, that is what you should do. Because once you have that, once you have like a solid proof that X thing used to scare me and I overcame it by doing such and such things. Once you have that to sort of as something you can keep reminding yourself of, it makes overcoming challenges much easier. I also want to get into some details about how I used to feel before being up on stage and how I feel now about it. Earlier, I would be in my head all the time. Like my attention would be focused inward. I would keep having these thought loops, such as, "Oh my God, I look so weird. I don't look like a normal person. I don't deserve to be here on stage." And these, like, intrusive thoughts would keep coming in, and I would keep flowing with them. And the key shift was to just not have these thoughts at all. And that's very easy to say, obviously, but it'll come with practice. Once you notice that these anxious thoughts are coming in, you just let go of them and focus your attention outwards towards like whatever you're doing on stage. Like the guitar thing I was talking about earlier, when I would start focusing on like playing the guitar itself and singing, I would ignore the thoughts that would be coming in, or some of those thoughts wouldn't even come in the first place. And the same thing was true with stand-up comedy. When I would focus on the set itself, or like look at the audience, or just divert my attention from myself to other things, is when I would stop feeling nervous. And it's very easy to do. It just takes a bit of practice, but it is very doable. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about today. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon.